Welcome, Taurus. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do your new moon in Gemini reading. The new moon's on the 14th of June, and it is really a time where we are breaking through a lot of mental clutter, a lot of emotional baggage, because Mercury, the ruler of Gemini, is in Cancer. We're looking at how our words, our emotions shape our reality, our goals, our intentions. So this is bringing you squarely to the values around love, around money, your possessions, giving and receiving. This is your natural energy, activity in life, where you look at all the exchanges in your life and look for fairness, equity. I pulled from the Yogic Path the card Doom Vati, and I'm going to read from the Oracle. Yes, my darling, the goddess of letting go has finally realized that all the hardships and struggles you've faced were brought on your path for a very important reason. They've shaped you to be the person you are today. You have put together the dots on all the most difficult points on your journey and realized that it was all necessary to be here now. Dhumavati has come to remind you to give thanks to the struggles you faced. They have made you your highest self. I love this. This is the sense that that the journey was worth it, that you are arriving at a better place. You are understanding that suffering, pain has actually been your teacher, instructive to you. And from the soul's journey, I pulled forgiveness. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. I think this is really relevant for those of you that are releasing the power of negative experiences, hurtful experiences in your life. The idea of forgiveness, again, is really about protecting yourself, serving yourself, unburdening yourself of stories you no longer want to tell about who you are. So this is about acknowledging that you don't want to feel a certain way about certain things and people anymore because they're a program. They don't feel authentic anymore, even if the experiences were true and real. You don't want to carry hatred. You don't want to be burdened down by resentment or anger. You want to recognize whatever was of value in those very experiences that were painful in order to recognize and give yourself permission to tell a new story. And you can't tell yourself a new story if you're repeating the resentment, the anger, the history, the betrayals of the past. For your present, let's see, we have the Star card. A lot of people are getting this, and I believe this is because we're in a social moment when it is important for us to clarify what our values are, what for us constitutes a better world. And this is not about solely a political or social stance. This is about being the change that you want to see in the world. Taking personal ownership and responsibilities for the way that your life reflects on what you would like to see occur around the planet, in your neighborhood, in your community. Is your life sustainable? Are you a victim of consumption? Are you healthy? How do you promote health in your life? Emotional health as well. Is that part of the world that you'd like to see? This is the opportunity to be that. And I think this is intensely personal. This is shaping your values in a way in the present moment so that you are making decisions, you're balancing out the way that you own and take care of your possessions, the possessions you seek, you choose to cultivate, the love, the relationships that you want to be a part of your life. In the past, the Empress card. This is beautiful. This is one of your cards. The Empress, what can be said about her that is not already known? This is the power of Mother Nature herself. You, as a force of nature, you have the passion, the connection to the natural rhythms and flow of the natural world. You understand how to make things work, and that can easily be testified by the hard-working work ethic that you exhibit in everything you do. There's a kind of thoroughness in your ability to build, create, or nurture, take care of others, to maximize the harvest in some way. Out of very little, you can make a lot. And the sense of empowerment has been with you for your whole life, but there's a way in which you are uniquely tapping in to the abundance you have. And this ties in with forgiveness, ties in with the way that you're retelling your story about who you are, always being empowered, always being abundant, and yet choices you've made that have helped you to recognize the development of resources you have and the way in which you manage those resources so that you can create whatever you want to create. Not only creating something of value in the world, producing value in the world, but receiving the recognition and the love for that. Letting yourself be loved. In the future, we have the Nine of Wands. And the different picture that I'm picking up now is really you pursuing something wholeheartedly for a very long time. It almost feels like intermittently throughout most of your life, you have pursued a goal, you've had a high standard, you've really looked to fit yourself into a world that hasn't always been welcoming or open to you. And you realize now that perhaps the image you have of what would constitute success isn't coming from you, is coming from outside. Perhaps you're comparing or contrasting your experiences with those of others. You're looking at what others have, what you think you should have, rather than developing what success means for you. A success that doesn't depend on what others think, others' opinions. You're not monitoring that anymore. You're releasing that. And again, this comes back to a sense of forgiveness. Others treated you according to their expectations, and that does not have to be yours. Those are not your experiences or opinions. You can allow yourself to define success, achievement, happiness, accomplishment for yourself. And when you do that, you are unstoppable because you're not giving up here. You're not giving up on something that you want, but you've been thwarted over and over again. This card is the wounded warrior, and you're just so used to struggling and fighting that by switching the frame, reframing the expectation, you can release the struggle. There's no need to fight for what you have, and what you have all the resources to create. If this is resonating for you, Taurus, please like this video, subscribe to my channel. I appreciate your comments, and I appreciate your presence here and all the support that you give me in whatever way that exists. The Empress is clarified by the Empress again and the Six of Pentacles. Wow, this is beautiful. You are such a natural lover. You are such a natural giver. There's no bottom, no limit to the attention, the care, the uh, uh, desire to be fair and equitable in all of your exchanges and relationships. You definitely have internalized the sense of being in sync with a force of nature, of abundant harvest. You know about this. You have made the most from what you have, and you continue to do so. But this really talks about bringing in that energy, really, of work ethic. That work ethic that translates into all your relationships, that really begins any relationship, agreement, contract, negotiation with your desire. What do you want to achieve? Not what is available, but what do you want? And from a place of claiming your desire, all negotiations are fluid, they're flexible, they're adaptable. You're able to compromise if we've already set the bar at a place that is about your authentic need or desire. And here you are able to renegotiate as situations change. What was working in the past maybe stops working in the same way, or we establish a new goal or a new bar of performance. But this is showing your flexibility and your desire for balance in all relationships, for justice, for fair treatment. In the present, the Star card is clarified by the Queen of Cups and the Nine of Swords. So, carrying this way of attending to the suffering you've endured, perhaps in this particular moment, the status of the world chaos or community rupture, family rupture in your life is causing you to reflect on historic sadnesses or pain that you've endured, imbalances that come from apparently outside of you, a sense of oppression, of never really having enough to care for your own needs properly. And I think that this is part of the inception of this change in mindset for you, recognizing that rather than coming from a place of an oppressive environment, of space of lacking what you need, not having the resources, your shift is moving towards a place of realizing you have all the resources, all of the ability to attend to your needs, whatever those needs may be. This is always turning back to the self-care that is required for you to be safe and comfortable in the world, for you to look at the things that have been difficult or painful and recognize that they've in fact been instructive, sort of back to Dhumavati here. The hurt, the betrayals all help to strengthen you, clarify where you were going, what you wanted, and what you didn't want. Have you grown? Are you now respecting your needs in a way that you attend to those, not to the expectations of others, not privy to the manipulations of others? And in the future, the Nine of Wands is clarified by the Six of Cups, and one more, please. Ooh, is that the Star again? Yes, it is the Star again. There are two more cards, so I'm not going to take them. But this is beautiful. You have two repeats of very powerful positive cards, wish fulfillment and the power not only to manifest what you want, but to receive the love and recognition that you desire. So this willingness to reshape what it is that defines for you success, achievement, a wish fulfillment really comes from your ability to look at a time in your life when you were able to exercise your talents and your gifts without judgment. This is telling me you want to or desire to reconnect with your skills, reconnect with who you truly and authentically are, and that is a pathway to wish fulfillment for you. Going back to natural talents, understanding how you can experience those successfully now on your own terms as you define it, not in the way that is defined socially or ideally. This is practical. What success looks like for you is reconnecting with your own talents, your own gifts, your own passions at a time when it wasn't about performing or showing out. It was about pleasure, joy, having fun, entertaining others, having fun yourself. But the play element here is key, not taking it so seriously, and yet and still that moves you in the direction of being an agent of change in the world, embracing the talent, your natural gifts, reconnecting with the pleasure of that. I am going to pull an outcome here with the forgiveness card. 2 cards, please. Okay, I have the Hierophant and one more. And the 4 of Cups. Interesting, yeah. I see you pursuing commitment, a commitment to yourself, a commitment to growing, learning what is necessary now to make this reconnection a wish fulfillment, to answer a deep, long ago wish within you that you may have given up on, or you may have refashioned it in a way that it is frustrating. It involves struggle. You're craving the attention for a skill you have that is not in sync with your real needs, your real desire. And at this point, you're acknowledging that something is missing in your life. Something from a practice of what I call a everyday magic practice of aligning yourself with things that support you, aligning yourself with people that see your value. You're reconsidering things that you took for granted in the past that led to a sense of routine, habit, rather than something you deeply desire. And this has and is requiring, because of your commitment to this wish fulfillment, that you learn, that you let yourself grow, that you put yourself in situations that will allow you to determine what success looks like for you. I'm going to finish this up with the language of flowers, and I pulled one of my favorites, the agapanthus, or lilies of the Nile. And the key words are words of love. Speak from your heart. Well, with all these Empress and Star cards before us, I have no doubt that you are speaking from your heart. Thank you so much, Taurus, for this beautiful reading. Until next time, namaste.